investing on assets or on liabilities? Yes, I'm asking you. Are you investing your money on liabilities or on assets? An asset is something you invest your money on that would eventually bring you more money in the future. Something that you put your money in, expecting to reap from it in the future, is assets. Like investing your money in real estate, knowing that it's gonna yield you money in the future. When I mean real estate, probably particularly the ones you can rent out or sell, resell, or a business that will yield you money in the future. While liabilities are things you spend your money on that is not yielding you anything in the future, but rather you have to keep servicing it. You have to keep servicing it. You have to keep servicing it. You spend money to service that thing. For instance, a car is not an asset. A car is a liability because you need to service that car. You need to pay insurance on your car. When something goes bad, you have to repair the car. So car is something that keeps taking money from you. It is a necessity, but it's not an asset, because that car can have an accident tomorrow and is no more. So I ask you again, what are you investing your money on? Are you investing it on things that will be yielding you more money, or things that will incur more expenses in your life in the future? And I want to encourage you, as you're spending your money, try to spend that money on something that will yield you money in the future. I realize that most people spend their money driving the latest car, the most expensive car, but they don't have any investment. They don't have any investment on assets. They've spent their money on liabilities instead of assets. You have to be wise. If you must be financially free tomorrow, if you must have financial freedom tomorrow, if you must grow from point A to point B, if you must live your life without borders, without limitations, without anything stopping you, you must have an investment mindset. And before you spend your money on anything, the first question you ask yourself is there a need for this thing? Yes or no? If there is a need, is it a liability or an asset? How much am I going to spend servicing it? Or how much is it going to yield me? If we are able to reason this way, you will discover that most of the things you purchased in the past, you wouldn't have purchased it today. Because that's thousands of money you use buying a very expensive car, paying high insurance on that car, and so many much more. You would have invested that money in a business that would have yielded you so much money in time to come, such that by the time you are now investing or putting your money in liabilities, you will no longer feel it, because you have enough assets to take care of your liabilities. You know, you have to build money. You build money. When you build money, money grows. You have to learn to build money. When you invest more on things that will give you returns, in the near future, you can now invest your money in things that are liabilities, but then you have enough assets to cover the liabilities. I've seen a lot of people today, they live in affluence, tomorrow they go back to square zero. Why? Because they didn't have any tangible assets. Yes, they spent that money living in a flamboyant lifestyle, but they didn't have no tangible thing. So when crisis comes, when during their stormy days, they have nothing to fall back at, it will now take them back to square one, and they will now be, what do I do? And funny enough, all those friends that rallied around you in your days of affluence, in your days of flamboyancy, will be nowhere to be found. All of them will be nowhere. In fact, you can't even go to any of them for any help, and they will give it to you. Trust me. Dear friend, before you get yourself involved in spending that money again, before you think of purchasing that stuff again, before you think of putting your money into that stuff, whatever the thing is, ask yourself, how much is it going to yield me? Am I putting it on a liability or an asset? If it's a car, for instance, car is a necessity. Instead of going for cars like car that will cost you, say, $10,000 to $20,000, what you need is mobility. If you have that $20,000, if you have that $15,000, why not go for a car of $5,000 and use the $10,000 to invest in a business? If you have $5,000, why don't go for a car of, say, $2,000 and use the remaining $3,000 to invest in a business that will yield you? When you learn to invest over a period of time, invest in different things, multiple streams of income here, not just one thing, so that when the stormy days will come, you have something to fall back on. Stop spending your money to impress people. People buy things most times to impress people. Oh, he's using the latest phone. Oh, she's driving the latest car. Oh, this, oh, that. You don't need to impress anybody, sweetheart. It's your life. You don't need to impress anybody. You impress them today. Tomorrow, when the money is no more, you are back to square one. So, what? It doesn't make sense. Don't live your life for today. Live your life for tomorrow.